My dude, I am hungry, and I know that you're probably hungry too. Us Kingdom Hearts fans have been without some decent, substantial nutrients and vitamins for most of this year. In fact, the last time that we got fed was January of this year with the Kingdom Hearts Missing Link prototype test that took place over in Japan. Prior to that, we had the Dark Road finale, which was pretty cool. And prior to that, we had the 20th anniversary event, the reveal of Kingdom Hearts 4, pretty big deal, as well as Missing Link. Honestly though, looking at Kingdom Hearts over the past sort of year and a half, it really has been on the down low, but in less than 24 hours, that big drought period, which honestly is one of the biggest that we've actually had to face, will be coming to an end. In less than 24 hours, the Kingdom Hearts Missing Link closed beta will begin for the UK, Japan, and Australia. Just shortly before, some emails were being sent out as well as text messages to those who signed up for the closed beta within the UK, Australia, and Japan, basically saying that your access has been granted. And on the 29th of November, UTC time 7 AM, I'll put the US translations up on screen now for EST and PST, you will be able to access the closed beta from the 29th through until the 8th of December. Now, during this time, you will be able to capture footage, take images, screenshots, all of that, as well as even live stream. Right now, the closed beta testers can access the actual app. As you can see, this is the title screen. This is what it looks like. Don't know if this will be what it looks like in the final version, but this is it for now. And also along with that is the entire Dearly Beloved for Missing Link, which is the one we've heard in trailers. You can hear it in its full now. This image is provided by Maku over on Twitter. Shout out to you, bro. However, though, the wording on this is a little bit interesting, as it does say for personal use only, though I know that many people right now are basically planning on posting when the guidelines and all that become a little bit clearer. But just because of the fact that the wording does say personal use, it is interesting. It doesn't necessarily mean that everyone can just kind of take to social media and start posting stuff. Regardless of which, though, with the mention of live broadcasts, one way or another, we are finally going to see Kingdom Hearts Missing Link in action via someone actually playing it. I am so excited for this because there was actually some gameplay that ended up leaking. Someone did decide to just do the naughty and leak some gameplay, the very beginning segment of Missing Link at the beginning of this year. For the prototype test that was obviously against the guidelines, all of that footage has since been removed. The game, by the way, I have seen it, looks really good, and that was the prototype test, so keep in mind too that this version that people are going to play in less than 24 hours will be a brand new version, more updated. It is the closed beta test, it is not the prototype test. We've already seen a lot of advancements as well as upgrades towards the actual game from the most recent trailer, so it'll be that version that everyone will be playing. I'm really excited to actually learn more. A few of my friends will be providing me with some information, which is super helpful. On top of that, just the community in general will obviously be sharing all kinds of information. And again, like I said, we will be seeing a lot of stuff too. Those questions that we do have lingering as of right now, and I think the biggest one is most certainly how much of the game is actually orientated to the GPS side of the concepts, because of course that seems to be the biggest thing for Missing Link, is that it is a GPS-based action RPG in very similar fashion to that of Pokemon Go. How much of the game actually does require you to have to physically leave your house and go out into the real world in order to enjoy it? There is one little slogan that pops up in the most recent trailer mentioning that you can explore the real world without even having to leave your home, and with mentioning that, it does kind of make me think that the whole idea of having to physically leave has been toned down a bit from the reception of the prototype test earlier this year. There were also a lot of complaints that I saw towards the accumulation of AP, the resource that actually allows you to play the game from the comfort of your own seat and not have to actually leave. I think it is something that a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans are worried about, because I know for a lot of people, this genre of game isn't exactly something that interests them, and I totally understand that. I also want to be able to play this every single day, but not be required to actually have to leave my home. For my situation, I literally live out in the middle of nowhere. And so, like, if I have to actually travel, which costs a lot of money in the current gas economy of my country, that is going to be a slight problem. I'm also meaning for if you actually have to go to populated areas, say towns or cities, that might be where all of the Heartless spawns and actual content and events do take place, I'm going to be in trouble. So hopefully we have questions like that actually answered from via this closed beta test. The other side that I'm really keen to know is the monetization of Missing Link. I'm just so curious about this, because I am going to be honest with you, the microtransaction gacha side of Union Cross was egregious, and in the sense of, especially the pricing, was ridiculous. Square Enix eventually kind of got better with this, with introducing better dealed and better priced banners, but still, because there was no slowing down with in-game purchases with Union Cross, Square Enix pretty much knew that they could kind of just keep the jewel prices and certain pack costs the way they were, because people continued to buy them. I just really hope that it's not as egregious as Union Cross. We don't know if there will be any microtransactions or the gacha side within the actual closed beta test, or even how the gacha works, if there is going to be a gacha at all. But like, let's be real, this is a Square Enix mobile game. There is going to be some kind of in-game transactions. I was actually having a really good talk to HMK about this the other day. We were talking about the whole gacha side of Missing Link, and talking about the whole idea of, if the whole purpose of Missing Link is to go out and scour the world, defeat Heartless, to receive the character pieces, then if you just offer better pieces or similar pieces in a store of sorts, then doesn't that completely ruin the entire concept and point of playing the actual game? There'll obviously be story-related missions to play for the narrative, but just that general gameplay concept will sort of be ruined if you can just purchase the better pieces. So it will be interesting to see exactly how the in-game purchases and gacha side of this game will work. If this is actually something that is going to be a part of the game, being able to spend money to get things in return, I would say it will probably be in the closed beta, only if we use the Final Fantasy Ever Crisis closed beta as a point of reference. Even though none of your progress transferred from that beta into the full version of the game, still for the beta, the microtransactions and in-game purchases were still there, so I don't see why it would be any different here with Missing Link. Again, even though your progress doesn't transfer from the beta into the full version. And yes, I know how absolutely terrible that sounds and ridiculous that sounds, but that was literally a thing for the Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis beta. You could spend money, but just know that that money you're spending there will not go over to the full version. I think that's kind of crazy, but that's the way it was. Now, obviously, not a lot of people get to experience this. It's only about 2,500 per region, UK, US, JP. And I know as of right now, most of you guys in the US are probably like, what? Yeah, I felt that kind of too, to be fair. I mean, I was definitely not expecting my country to be thrown into the mix of testers. New Zealand is one speck in such a larger scheme of things. I never expect that kind of thing. But for the US, it's really confusing. What we do know, though, is there is going to be an Android test, because this is only for iOS, Apple devices. But there will be an Android test come January, and I would say probably a couple, if not few more beta tests throughout next year. Likely one of those, if not possibly the Android January test, will be for the US, but we'll just have to wait and see. However, guys, the Kingdom Hearts drought is coming to an end. I am looking so forward to learning more about Missing Link. I just thought I would keep you guys in the loop. I'll be doing my absolute best to keep you guys informed on all of the information that does come through. So buckle your seatbelts, fellas. Disney RPG game is getting a status update. However, guys, that is all for today. I've been Cynical. Hopefully you're having a damn good one, and we'll talk real soon. Peace.